And it says that Black conservatives are questioning the impeachment motives, with the Senate impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump set to begin and a second attempt to remove him from office after he's actually left office, go figure. Members of the National Center's Project 21 Black Leadership Network have spoken out against the congressional action as, quote, just political payback based on, quote, zero evidence. Stacy, you there?
Yes. Hi,
So,
Carrie.
good morning. Great to have you. So, Stacy, what was your read on the proceedings yesterday? First of all, do you think that the president's lawyers were strong enough?
Well, I mean, it's difficult to get good help when your personal life is threatened and your family is threatened, and you have this attitude among the legal profession where they're literally told, you take cases with the president, you'll never work again. So the president has the best legal team that he was able to get under the circumstances, and I think they did pretty well. The issue here really isn't even about their presentation or defense of the facts. The issue is, will the Democrats be able to garner 2/3 majority vote in order to convict the president? The entire exercise is one of futility and utter madness because he's no longer the president. And the decision about whether or not he should run again in 2024 or any date after that is the decision of the American people. Americans know how to, recultivate and continue a relationship with a candidate or to dump off a candidate. We've seen many times in the history of this country since the founding where popular individuals at one moment in time have later come back to run again and floundered and failed, and others have come back and been victorious. So the idea that President Trump should be censured and that the decision should be made in the Senate, that the Senate is the governing body that decides for 330 million Americans whether or not someone can run for the presidency, based on really facts are not in evidence that he incited anything under the constitutional definition of incitement, it's just ludicrous. And I think Americans are really upset that they were promised things, a $2,000 check. Carrie, I'm a conservative. I don't believe in the government paying us to live or giving us an income to sustain ourselves. The best stimulus is reopening the economy. But promises were made. Joe Biden said it. There's a mashup video out there of all of them campaigning on giving $2,000 checks immediately upon winning office. Raphael Warnock, he said we're going to get those checks into your hand. Now they have office. They've gotten what they wanted, and they are obsessed with President Trump. They want to keep his name in their mouths. They want to keep his face in the American people's eyes on screens and on televisions. And so that's what they're doing. And it's really Trump derangement syndrome on steroids. But, there it is.
Well, it's interesting that just to your point on the stimulus checks, that I've heard from a lot of conservatives that, yes, they agree with you. They're not about giving, quote unquote, free money, because there's nothing free in this world. But that when the government is the one who's shutting you down and shutting down your business and your livelihood, then the government should do something to help compensate for that. That's the argument I've heard from some conservatives. But aside from that, the case yesterday, the Republicans, do you think they could have done more to be stronger to say, hey, there's a lot of evidence that Democrats used very similar rhetoric, that they, in some cases, were inciting violence, whether it's Maxine Waters or Cory Booker or other examples, Ilhan Omar cheering on the man who assaulted Senator Rand Paul, and then also Nancy Pelosi questioning the legitimacy of President Trump's election, things like that. Do you think that they could have come out swinging more?
Certainly. Absolutely. It's actually difficult for them because they have all of us, especially in news media and radio as we are, where we hear all of the clips, we watch all the videos. This is what we do all day, every day, as we talk to people, we interview people, and we review the facts in hand. These lawyers are dealing with the constitutional issues, and they're also dealing with the actual venue where they're located, which is in the Senate, which is a hostile venue to them because the Democrats control that chamber. And so just like yesterday, they were scheduled to appear, the Trump's attorneys were scheduled to appear in a certain order, and the Democrats reversed it. So they threw them off because they don't want them at the top of their game. So,
real quick, Stacy, on the issue of Black History Month, Black history is American history. Do you support Black History Month?
Oh, certainly. So if I had my way, Black history would be just plain all American history, and we wouldn't have to have a month for it to highlight it. But since we do have a month, I certainly support it. And I think it's a great time for us to talk about what brings us together and makes us stronger as Americans. Black Americans are a part of this country. We are a unique people group to America. and we are more closely related to whites here in America than we are to people in Africa.
All right. Stacy Washington, thank you so much for joining us.